Salute, Knicks Nation. The streets are buzzing tonight. The New York Knicks pick up a win on their home court, MSG. They did it tough, blew a big lead. What else is new? We've got lots to talk about. Salute to the chat. Salute replay gang. Everyone out here. Appreciate you. Let's go. What are your thoughts tonight as the New York Knicks outlast the Pacers? 113 to 119 on their home court. And RJ Barrett's return. And lots to talk about with RJ's performance tonight. Brunson is Brunson again, mounting that all-star case. Julius Randle do Randle things. And of course, the Knicks got a break tonight with Tyrese Halliburton going out injured in the second half. But the New York Knicks blew a big lead, 25-point lead. And they had to dig deep. They had to dig deep to pull this one out. Quentin Grimes hit a clutch corner three ball. Jalen Brunson found him. Nice assist. RJ Barrett, also had a nice dime towards the end. But RJ Barrett's shot struggled in the second half. And the New York Knicks offense went stagnant. After pick up a big lead, as you see the box score below, the wire-to-wire score, the New York Knicks came out of the gate hot tonight. Everything was clicking in the first half, 21 to 37. And they held their lead, extended the lead in the second, 25 to 20. And it was the second half where the Indiana Pacers just clawed their way back into it. They just did not go away. And it was TJ McConnell, the Nick Nemesis, pesky defense, picking up steals, getting into Jalen Brunson. And definitely the New York Knicks, went cold, went stagnant. And they caught a break tonight, Tyrese Halliburton going down. And before the game, just minutes before warm-up, Miles Turner couldn't go due to back spasm. So what would have been, how different would this game have been? Let's chop it up tonight. But the New York Knicks pick up an important win on their home court. We'll look at the road ahead and chop up the games coming up. Talk about some of the new trade talks and buzz going around the league with these Knicks. And of course, we'll give out our grades for tonight. And our observations. But first and foremost, salute to the chat, everyone out here coming through. Let's go. Yes, the New York Knicks find, ways to make it tougher on themselves. We've got to close out better. But it was good to see RJ back tonight. Big impact in terms of, the rest of the team. RJ coming back, he's been out for a minute. And it's been an adjustment for everyone else. I think for RJ, I didn't think it would be too bad because he hasn't been out that long. He would have been, keeping ready, staying ready. It was the off shooting hand, the finger, but he didn't shoot well tonight. Did RJ made a few costly turnovers down the stretch, but again, you want to learn from these mistakes and hopefully win the game. These mistakes that you make, the New York Knicks will learn from tonight, right? And another heart stopper. You want to get these games, in the regular season. I will say that, ladies and gents, you want to pick up these tough wins, even if you don't play your best. But during the regular season, gives you that chance to learn from it. We knew it was going to be a very competitive game. Indiana Pacers now fall back. The Knicks tie the Pacers in the 6th seed right now at 23 and 19. So Knicks back to 4 games over 500. With that said, let's go. Buzzer beater. Yep. The double team gave us fits. Yep. Yeah, that's decision making and moving the ball faster, fam. Yep. We're going to see that look a lot, definitely. And we're in a fortunate position that Randle and Brunson and RJ and guys can command double teams, but we got to execute. We got to execute better than that. Johnny Davis, salute. Yeah, the jitters from these close games. Yeah, but the important thing is that you pull it out. You're right. Not every game can be pretty. The Knicks blow leads. It's been happening. It's a trend. It'll continue to happen, but for different reasons. It's a 48-minute game, right? The Knicks play a read and react style of offense, right? A very freestyle, up and down tempo now. And that is conducive to seeing, leads blow. We can get up 20, we can get up 25, and we can blow these leads, right? With plenty of time on the clock, right? 20, 25-point lead in the third quarter, that's still time. Uh, for me, it comes down to slowing the tempo down a little. I think, right, you're up that far, you're up that much. There's no need to push the pace as much. I feel slow it down a little, get quality shots, move the ball. Right, that's important. You don't want to give the defense cheap, easy buckets to help them get back in the games, right? And the more you run up and down the court real fast with poor shot selection, long rebounds end up favoring the other team, and they can get back. But yeah, salute Johnny Davis. RJ, like Buzzer said, did have that tough couple bad plays, couple turnovers, a dumb foul on Hield as well. But yeah, he got to learn. Buzzer, you got to learn from that, and yeah, he will. It's all part of the growing pains with this situation, ladies and gents, streets, Knicks fam. A home win still buzzing as well. Smash that like button because you can learn from it and you escape with the dub as well. And I like what you said here too. Our perspective has changed. Our expectations are now to pull these games out, and especially without Miles Turner and without Halliburton going, with him going down as well, fam. But the story of tonight for me was RJ Barrett's return, because now what I hope to see moving forward is that we can stretch these minutes, across the bench unit, right? We need to give Brunson, Randle, and RJ more of a rest. Still 40 games to go, fam. We're just past the halfway point now. Ladies and gents, we're officially in the second part of this crazy NBA season. And we're here, right? We're ahead of schedule as we chopped up last night our mid-season report with EJ. Check that out if you haven't yet. We gave out mid-season grades and look ahead and all of that great stuff. But right now we're in the thick of it, ladies and gents. We've got the trade buzz coming up. The New York Knicks are in a prime position to achieve what they would like to achieve, and that is to push for the playoffs right now. And tonight's matchup was a gritty, old-school Eastern Conference matchup that had big ramifications in the standings, because now the New York Knicks have overtaken the Pacers and moved back into 6th seed right now at 23-19, right? 4 games over 500, which is great. Great platform now to hit this stretch coming up. And these games are going to get tougher, as we'll see tonight, and we talk about it with the chat. Some of these games coming up are going to be tough. But 4 games over 500, guys back healthy now. RJ back, Obi back as well. I like some things that I saw from Obi tonight. Obviously, he popped the 3 ball a couple times and gave us a bit of energy off the bench. But as RJ Barrett works back into rhythm that he was in before that finger injury, him with Brunson and Randle playing like all-stars as well, we're ready. We're ready to go. We're ready for these wars, ready for these battles right now. And the Cleveland Cavaliers in 5th seed are at 26-16 right now. So, not far off 5th seed in the Cleveland Cavaliers, ladies and gentlemen. We would obviously be due to play the Cavs, I think, 2 more times. I think we've played the Cavs once or twice, and we would be due to play them a couple more times, I feel. So 3 games back of the Cavs at 5th seed. And the New York Knicks in 6th at 23-19 now, tied with the Pacers, and the Miami Heat in the 8th seed at 22-20. So yeah, tonight was key. In terms of making key plays down the stretch, that was important for this team to execute. A lot of pressure. They didn't want to blow this one, that's for sure. And obviously, no doubt, the play of the game was Quentin Grimes hitting that huge 3 after sitting most of the entire 4th quarter. Twitter was going abuzz at that point. Where's Quentin Grimes? What's going down? Emmanuel quickly was out there with RJ. He was going well, but the Pacers were playing tough, getting stops and getting easy buckets, right? We just needed to slow it down. Jalen Brunson was getting closely checked by TJ McConnell, and we managed to get a couple nice looks. RJ had a beautiful wide open look right at the top of the three, and he missed that one. But then Quentin Grimes, I mean, what can you say, ladies and gents, with like a minute 30, I think, to go in the game, an ice cold Quentin Grimes off the bench is still straight money right there, baby, with the 3-ball goggles. Quentin Grimes is just clutch. I love that he's a New York Knick. I love these guys are all New York Knicks, but for tonight, extra love for Quentin Grimes with that play, fam. Big game player. He's a smart guy, makes the right play, gets in the right positions, and a salute to for the assist, the dime. I think it was RJ under the bucket that did find Grimes, for that big dagger as well. So that was huge. That was a key play. And as we see, in the third and fourth quarter, the Pacers got 40 points in the third, 32 in the fourth. A late flurry. They came home. They really, really wanted this one. A lot of talk about Tyrese, and they wanted to do it for him. But the New York Knicks held home court, which is most important, tonight, to go back 4 games over 500. We'll obviously talk about the box score and give out everyone their grades for tonight. But TJ McConnell, man, I want to salute him because he makes it tough, right? He was checking Brunson. He was guarding Brunson tough. But even more impressive was Jalen Brunson, the fact that he still had a big night and put in reps, man. He put in overtime, did JB, and no doubt about it, we needed every single bucket from JB with that situation. Really, really, really key for that. And also, an Eastern Conference matchup. A lot of Eastern teams are going to come up now, ladies and gents. So it's huge, this stretch that we're going to talk about tonight, and the path forward for these New York Knicks. Obviously, with the bench situation, having RJ back is going to be great, but the Knicks will still look and should be looking to make some moves. Obviously, there's talk now. Cam Reddish is obviously could be had for 2 second-round picks, according to the latest report. So we can expect Cam Reddish to get traded, but whether the Knicks want picks or pieces back in that trade or other trades is going to be fascinating, because to me, we still need a defensive scoring wing off the bench, or at least a guy that's 6'6", that can put it up and can shoot, can stretch the floor with that situation. Now, the Miles Turner thing's fascinating for me because he's been linked to the Knicks ever since, we can remember. I think it was going back at least a year or two, and especially the last trade deadline, Miles Turner was on the block. It was very clear, and it looks like him and the Indiana Pacers haven't yet been able to agree to an extension. Now, he's going to be an unrestricted free agent, and I do think Miles Turner is definitely going to be a big candidate to get moved by Indiana. They don't want to lose him for nothing, is Miles, and they don't want to lose that for nothing. And I think that he's going to be able to be had. Now, whether that's related to tonight, is anybody's guess. But the fact that he was a late scratch with like minutes to go before tip, and I'm talking warm-ups, back spasms and all of that situation. So let's see. But what was impressive tonight was our start, our first half. We just took control of the game, and thank God that the Knicks came out hot. Even with Tyrese. Tyrese looked rusty, but Quentin Grimes was playing incredible D and locking down. And those guys couldn't get in a rhythm because of the New York Knicks' gritty defense coming out. And with Sims, Buzzer, I'm not sure. I've got to find out. But that is very, very interesting why Jericho didn't get in tonight, which is definitely a storyline to watch, because he's been out playing Hartenstein, most of the fan base do believe that Jericho Sims is that guy that's able to help this team, especially defensively, rebounding, toughness. Let's hope Jericho's okay. But also, it's going to be maddening if he wasn't, inserted in tonight's lineup, even if he was healthy. Hartenstein's still getting the bulk of those minutes. We'll look at the box score in a second, but Sims is way more deserving of minutes and is a future piece for this team moving forward. Fam, for me, his versatility on defense, his vertical spacing, ability to play above the rim is huge for this squad. But obviously, without key clutch plays, this game was way too close for my liking, for your liking, for everyone's liking. We should have put our foot on their throat, and that has been a problem for this squad for the whole season. Basically, we can be hot for stretches and we can go super cold. With that said, I think figuring out other ways to score down low, not just jump shooting, but able to get guys in foul trouble, get to the cup, and stem the flow is critical for me. Obviously, Tom Thibodeau running guys heavy minutes ain't helping either. Jalen Brunson's a guy that's never going to admit it. Julius Randle, they won't admit it, but they're being played too much for too long, for too many stretches. I mean, I think it was the entire third those guys played, right? And you saw the impact that it had, the effect that it had on guys, right? It's not going to be good long term. As I do pull up the box score, it's just a situation where it's maddening, right? Look, Brunson, 42 minutes, right? Randle, 39 minutes. It's just insane. Again, I know it's a matchup that you really want to pull out, and it's one of those games where, it's a momentum swing. You're neck and neck with Indy now. But I mean, God, trust some guys on your bench. Obi, 9 minutes? No Sims for whatever reason. McBride, less than 10 minutes. And quickly could have gone into the 30s as well to give Brunson a rest. So these games are coming up thick and fast, and I'm worried. I don't know about you guys, but Brunson and Randle, one of those two guys takes a knock or an injury, and they need to miss time. It's going to be struggle town with that situation. David says, JB, sad he didn't get 40. It don't matter too much, fam. He made some key plays, I think, for me personally. But yeah, he's deserving of that all-star with that situation. Yep. Lots to build off, like Buzzer says, starting to gel as a team. And obviously, tonight's RJ Barrett's first game back. The shooting will continue to improve as he gets in a better rhythm. He's missed significant time. The decision making, something he'll learn from. But yeah, key turnovers didn't help us tonight. But we will start to gel more. And with our starting five, I think that is, a nice unit that's going to help this team pull out wins against anyone. Again, look at how we started, ladies and gents. 39 points, almost 40 points in the first quarter. Almighty, what's good? What did you see from tonight? With us getting out of the gate, it's no longer an issue. It's been an issue in previous years, but now with Brunson, with Randle, with Grimes, even quickly when he was getting the starting look, we were really starting out well. I just think we've got to manage our in-game execution better. We get ourselves in great positions, and we do need to manage in-game decisions better. Call out timeouts at better times, not play Randle and Brunson for entire quarters. I mean, come on. With that situation, we do need to manage that better. tonight would have been another cautionary tale. If the Knicks had lost this game, there would be a lot of pitchforks and knives out for Tom Thibodeau, I feel, because he wouldn't have been entirely to blame, but you can manage in-game decisions a lot better than what we saw tonight, right? And I would even like to see Brunson as a leader on the court, Randle as a leader on the court, pull Tibbs aside or try to get, in his ear and say, trust the bench more, trust these guys, trust them. We're going to need them down the stretch, right? We're going to need them, trust me. With that, yeah, obviously credit to our defense, first half, making it tough for Tyrese. Mathurin didn't look good in the first half at all. He couldn't get into a rhythm. Second half was a different story. But we did what we needed to do, fam, in the first half. We took care of business on our home floor. We looked really good. We looked ready for this one. Came out of the gate strong, and we were moving the ball, getting great looks. Like you see Quentin Grimes splashing that corner 3 ball. Manuel quickly getting to the paint whenever he needs, drawing the foul with the nice floater there. We'll give out some more grades in a second, but starting the game was critical. Starting the game well is the reason why the Knicks were able to hold on, eventually against the fast finishing Pacer team that, were tough, were gritty, credit to them. They hang in there even without Tyrese, and they made some great plays, some great steals, but we also made it easier for them, with the trap. We needed to get that ball moving like a hot potato, fam. Buzzer, you like to see us do a live stream. Appreciate you. That's something we'll definitely look at, fam. Yep. All cards on the table with that situation. And we will be looking at some things in the second part of this season as well, some interactive stuff, some call-in, taking some live calls and some options to interact with Knicks Nation, the chat, and Nick Streets up in here. Let's go, man. This season's been crazy. It's been buzzing right now. We're diehards up in here. We ride or die with this situation. And tonight was another game where everyone was clutching onto something, whether it was your beer, your drink, your phone, your computer, your TV, your remote. They had us clutching onto something, man, down the stretch, man. I kept the faith, not going to lie. I didn't think we would lose this one, but it was way too close for my liking. But again, I like to make the point, you want to be in these tough games in regular season against tough opponents like Indy in your conference, because you can learn from it, The point is we want to be battle tested, battle hardened for when the playoffs begin, right? We want to have seen all of these looks. We want to have seen doubles, zones, blitz, drop coverage, bit of everything, right? So these guys can gel more, like Buzzer said. These guys can see all of these looks. But it's critical for me, like I saw tonight, we got to manage in-game adjustments better, in-game decisions. There's no point getting out of the gate really well, hot, just to throw things away in the second, third, fourth quarters. So there you see Tom Thibodeau shaking his head, right? You're the coach. You have the power to change things up as well. Salute Rashad. Let's go. That comes down to coaching. We don't have a good modern coach. Good at some things, in my opinion, but rigid, just a little too rigid, We all know in life things get thrown at you from all different angles, right? We got to adapt in life, You keep doing the same thing the same way, eventually life's going to pass you by, You got to adapt. Technology adapts. Jobs, work adapts. Cars adapt. All of those things. I'd like to see coaching adapt as well. And one tip I've got is, like I said, Jalen Brunson and Randle. I'd like to see them take on even more of that leadership thing on court. And even if you wave Tibbs off from time to time, man, I wouldn't be mad at it. Man. They're in the game. They know the flow. They know what's going down, and sometimes they know. Sometimes they know they've got to pull rank. We hit some clutch free throws tonight, which was a positive. I want to highlight the free throw situation because, yeah, the Knicks have been struggling in the past. With that, not every guy obviously hit good free throws, but for the most part, it was a lot better. As you see, Randle 2 of 4, Mitch 4 of 6, and Brunson 9 of 9, and Barrett actually 5 of 6. So that was solid. B. Willis, salute. I love Indy's pace. If we can play like that, our bench will score. Kareem, let's go. Appreciate you. Nick Yak in the house. Mitch's block was key. Great point. Mitch is huge for that. Huge play on Mathurin to swat that, get that trash out of here. That was a nice motivating boost for the team when things were looking bleak with that situation. Buzzer, yeah, vote. Let's vote. Vote these guys in. Let's get them in. Let's get these guys in. Yep. What's good, NYC? What's good? Trade Isaiah Hartenstein for a soda and a stale bag of chips, right? Yep. And some used sneakers, maybe. You guys find out. If you guys hear anything, obviously I'll try to find out what's up with Sims. But yeah, Jericho Sims, that was puzzling with that. I'm gonna hope and gonna assume that he wasn't able to go. Kareem like to say Tibbs is a good coach, but not for this era. Yeah, things have changed. Yeah, you got to adjust too. You got to adjust. The fact that we're 4 games over 500, a lot of people do give Tibbs a lot of props, and he's done some things that I'm okay with too throughout the season. Giving Grimes all the minutes he needs immediately. Some of the no-brainer things. But I've never really been a fan of his offense. The defensive situation is still a wait and see for the long term. Obviously, in some games we can get burned with the 3-point shooting, so I'm not a fan of that. I like straight up man-to-man defense, play a little bit of zone from time to time, and free throws in the second reason why we won the game. Yep, clutch. Yep, some clutch consistency there, fam. For the most part, guys were pretty solid, hitting their free throws. But officiating, again, I would like to call that out. Again, you guys know what I'm talking about. There was a couple of key plays where Quentin Grimes was fouled twice on that turnover. He was held back, and he was also smashed in the face with Mathurin's shoulder, and that should have been called as well. So that was momentum. That was lost momentum. Salute Core Mega. Let's go. Now, let's give out some grades now. But again, I want to highlight these minutes because now that we got Obi healthy, IQ playing the way he is, and Barrett back healthy, there's no excuse for not extending the rotation, the minutes distribution. So I'll start with RJ tonight, right? The guy who returned, Bully Barrett, 41 minutes in a return game, right? Tibbs, no chill with Tom Thibodeau with that situation, straight in. Obviously, his fitness, his conditioning was probably great still because he's only been out due to a finger injury. That hasn't stopped him. But first game NBA intensity, I wouldn't have played RJ 41 minutes tonight. That's just me. First game back in a minute. That's how you get guys injured. Guys can get injured playing heavy minutes in a return game. But salute to RJ, 9 of 23, hit some nice shots. He looked pretty loose offensively, which was a positive sign for RJ. making some nice plays, some nice passes, 4 assists tonight. Rebounded well as well. He rebounded well, did Bully Barrett. Obviously, the 3-point ball is something that I expect not to be too hot right now because he's been out 4 of 12. But he did hit a couple of big threes early in the first half, hit his free throws, which was great to see. Just 2 turnovers, but one was very critical late in the game, which could have come back to bite. But there was still plenty of time left from that. And obviously RJ's in-game rhythm and opportunity to learn from those mistakes will be key. But to be a plus and 27 points for Bully Barrett, I'm going to say very, very solid first game back. Considering, what's he been out for? 2 weeks, 3 weeks? It's been a minute, fam. So pretty solid return. First game back for RJ. The pleasing things, the free throws, some of the decision making I did like. A great pass, like I said, to Quentin Grimes for the dagger 3 under the bucket. And that was something that showcased to me what RJ was growing before he went out with, which was his patience. I'm seeing RJ look like the game's slowing down for him a bit more. He did the dribble penetration hop step, got under the bucket, and what did he do? He didn't force it. He didn't force it. He found the right pass, made the right play, and found Q Dot in the corner for that swish. That was game. So, if RJ's not scoring, but he's making plays like that, that's great. That's great for him, great for the future, great for the growth. With that, I'm very high on RJ's playmaking ability. I want to see him flesh that part of his game out more as well. We know he could give you 20, 25, 30 any night. Can RJ, as he gets bigger, older, stronger, he's just going to become an even more dynamic scorer in this league in many different ways. But RJ Barrett can be dangerous if he continues to find the open man because he's going to get more attention. The better he gets, the more, he's going to start to get doubles. He does get doubles at times. But making the right reads is going to be critical for RJ. The growth of the game mentally for Bully Barrett. He's called Bully Barrett because physically he can overpower people. He can do what he likes to do. But the moment it starts to click more mentally for RJ Barrett, his game's going to go to another level. Everyone says RJ Barrett's swing skill is the shooting, some of the finishing at the rim, and ball handling, dribbling. That's very important too. But for me, also, it is mentally processing the game as well. And tonight, I was pleased with a lot of those plays down the stretch where he did find a teammate, didn't force it. Obviously, that turnover from the inbound play wasn't good, but fortunately, it didn't hurt us. It didn't come back to bite. What did you guys think of RJ Barrett's performance? Look, tonight, I'll give him a solid B. Solid B in his return for tonight. Not too inefficient. 41 minutes. Few turnovers, but he got back into the flow. Big performance in terms of the scoring, helping this starting unit out as well, completing our big 3 and making things more dangerous, more dynamic. Now, Brunson and Randle are going to get a lot of attention offensively. Having RJ back now and putting quickly back to the bench is going to offer us the ability to stretch these minutes out, stagger them out. Tibbs, please. Even if you want to bring quickly in earlier, have RJ come back earlier, play with the bench as well. Give RJ Barrett that opportunity to be on ball more with the bench lineups. But 41 minutes, that's a lot. That's a lot in his return. Now, I want to give a shout out to the next guy, Quentin Grimes, because efficient night for Q Dot, 6 of 11, and 4 3-pointers, 2 of 2, 100% from the line. Great to see. Rebounded 6 Was it 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 turnovers. Quentin Grimes, 16 points. Stand up. Stand up Quentin Grimes again, playing his role. But he put Tyrese Halliburton on lock early on. Tyrese couldn't get no rhythm. He couldn't get into his groove, and he was struggling out there. He wasn't looking like an all-star in that first half. No. So great defense for the New York Knicks. I think they switched well. They guarded the pick and roll really well. And it was a situation where Quentin Grimes was locked in. He was locked in, being a pest like he does, playing tough. And Quentin Grimes hit his shots tonight. Exactly what you need. 3-and-D all the way, baby. Is Quentin Grimes. He had the arena buzzing. Obviously, assisting. He usually gets a few more assists, but you can't be mad at that. A couple turnovers. He usually does that for a young player. Playing, again, 30-plus minutes. Perfect. Quentin Grimes getting that look, that New York Knicks starting 2 guard. Let's hope that Quentin Grimes can play in the All-Star Rising Stars game. I think it's still US versus internationals. But I think Quentin Grimes, being a sophomore, still eligible and very, very deserving, being a starting shooting guard on a team 4 games over 500. Quentin Grimes deserves to be in that. So stay tuned. Stay tuned with that. Yeah, Quentin Grimes, for me, he also gets a B for tonight. He gets a B. What do you guys think? David wants to give Grimes A- with that. Yep. He definitely helps if they want to double. If they want to double Randle, Brunson, RJ, having Grimes now in that starting lineup just changes things so much. We're seeing less zone. The way Randle's shooting and the way quickly he's been shooting with the starting unit recently, and with Grimes out there, we're starting to see less zone against the New York Knicks, which is key. So Quentin Grimes, another feather in his cap, is to be a zone buster up in here. And his dribble drive, playmaking ability is just invaluable. A couple people have asked me, is this team, how real is this team? How much better than the 2 years ago 4th seed team is this team? And Quentin Grimes is one of the biggest reasons because of his versatility. Reggie Bullock, as we know, together with RJ 2 years ago. One, we have a better RJ, better version. But 2, we have Quentin Grimes, who can do so much more than Reggie Bullock can do. Reggie Bullock can play D, can spot up and shoot. One dribble, come around the curl. That's it. But Quentin Grimes puts the ball on the floor, right? Gets all the way to the paint, makes the right play. He can suck the D in, make the drop pass. He's yet to sort of show the floater game yet, but even better, he has the pull-up mid-range as well. So if Quentin Grimes realizes he's going into traffic, he actually has that dribble pull-up mid-range game, which is important to have as a guard in this league. You need that. Now, I want to highlight one of what I'm noticing is one of Quentin Grimes' weaknesses is sometimes he does struggle finishing, with his lack of size or length. Obviously, he got blocked. That was a key play, and I think Isaiah Jackson, Ijax, met Grimes at the rim. Grimes was trying to lay it up, and that's something I've noticed as a weakness of Grimes recently. He needs to go up strong, and I mean strong, right? Slam it down, even if you get fouled. Like 6'5", he's a good enough athlete, I think, to finish a lot of these plays. But for whatever reason, he doesn't yet have that kind of confidence to just go up and slam it like Barrett does or a Randle does. With that said, I do think perhaps it's most likely a lack of length. Quentin Grimes at 6'5", ain't the longest dude there, but he gets to the rim. He just decides to lay it up. So that's a weakness I've noticed. Quentin Grimes do get blocked quite a lot. Team in the house. Let's go. Salute. He will continue to improve. Yes, facts. Absolutely. I'm just so pleased that he's getting 30 plus minutes, and that's not only that, he's earned every single minute he's getting now with his play, his development. But Quentin Grimes can also, he could show so much more with little plays he's giving us each and every night. The playmaking, his b-ball IQ. I think he's just still getting his legs under him, fam. He's a sophomore playing 36 minutes a night now. That's huge. That's huge for the kid. In just his second NBA season, right? He's still going around the league, still building up his strength. With that, I never expect Quentin Grimes to be an above the rim player. He's never going to be that, but he just needs to learn how to be a bit smarter finishing, because after that, he's got every other tool. I mean, tonight, he really made it tough for Tyrese, I will say, and helped the Knicks in the first half tonight, and hits his shots, makes plays, rebounds well for the guard spot. That's another great thing, great leap between Barrett and between Grimes. The ability for those two guards to rebound is key for the Knicks as well. That's why we're killing on the rebounds. And I think tonight we're like 50 rebounds to 40. We out-rebounded the Pacers by 10 tonight. So a B for Q dot. Probably could bump it up to a B plus for the big three ball. But I'm going to start to be a bit more tougher on my grades, but still very, very solid performance. These guys have been more consistent recently. Quentin Grimes, I can't remember the last time he had a bad game. Can you guys remember? You let me know. David says, most of them above the rim guys see bench time, leg issues, or shoulder. So now, Jalen Brunson, 42 minutes again, too much. I would like to get to a point where Brunson's playing 36, 37 max. Yep. And of course, obviously, if there's a situation with where we're down, we're clutch in the stretch, then it's going to be a situation where we might need to play Brunson more. But with that said, if things are going well in the games, we don't need to play him that much. It's just too much. So Jalen Brunson tonight in his 42 minutes. Yeah, efficient again, man. 11 of 20, 3 of 4 from 3-point land, 9 of 9 from the field, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 turnover only, +7, 34 points. That's a clear-cut A for me tonight. Clear-cut A for JB. What can you say, man? Efficient scorer with the best of them. And that's just no hyperbole, across the league. It's huge. Absolutely huge. His ability to get buckets under duress. What we did see where he struggled tonight was, being locked down by TJ McConnell and fatigue. That's what I think played a part with Brunson. Obviously, lack of size, length, and when you press up on Brunson all game long, and you tire him out, all the scoring he's doing, locking him down, it's tough, right? There's certain nights where I think JB just needs to become a lot more of a distributor as well, not trying to force it too much. That's just one of the worries I have moving ahead with the overusage. But right now, Tom Thibodeau is riding him like a horse right now, riding him to every single win, as well as Randle and a lot of these other guys. And I'm just worried it's going to come back later in the season to hurt us. So we do need to get Brunson's minutes down, please. But hero night after night after night, let's vote him in, ladies and gents. Jalen Brunson, whether it's starting, reserve, let's get him in the All-Star game for the first time. Yeah, he deserves it, fam. and he gets an A tonight. Juju Randle, right? 39 minutes, 5 of 12. Randle didn't have too many attempts tonight. Hit 2 threes, 2 of 4 from the line, but a beast rebounding, 3 offensive, 16 total, 4 assists I like, a block. Critical. One of the best plays of the game was Julius Randle's ability to rise up and swat that ball right above the rim. That was a momentum swing and great hustle play for Julius. You want to see him make these hustle plays down the stretch. That lets you know how serious he's in the game, how involved he is, and how much he wants to win. We need him. We rely on him, especially with more dangerous defensively with a locked-in Julius. And that was a huge play. We've seen a lot of great plays defensively from Randle this season that we haven't seen a lot of in the past, in his whole career. I'm talking chase down blocks. I'm talking hustle play, running back, getting that interception, a steal. And I really think he can get a lot more blocks as well, like he did tonight with that huge block. He had quite a few turnovers, 6, was still in the plus, 14 points. Julius Randle played his role. Like I said, I like the 4 assists and the rebounding, pushing the ball up off the break. We're not seeing Randle push the ball up as much as we have in the past. That was something that we were doing without our point guard. But I do think Julius Randle's been much better. The team's been much better with that situation. And it's important that we want to play faster, fam. We want to push the tempo. Fam, we want to push the tempo, and we want to make sure that we're catching the defense off guard. Julius Randle does a good job of that. He's making better decisions this year. But yeah, with that said, I think that is a situation where Brunson's changed a lot of that situation with the team that we didn't have, with Alfred and when we had Alec Burks, right? But it's still important when Randle does get the rebound that he pushes it as well. So that's been good. Julius Randle for tonight, I'll give him a solid B for his game as well for tonight. Again, he impacts the game in other ways, even if he hasn't got it going scoring. I think with the rebounding and the assists tonight, and just that effort, that effort play, I could probably also bump him up to a B+ with that key block. I mean, that just had me out of my seat. David, Randle A-. His defense was great. It was trying to get involved in the offense. On a night where the Pacers can swarm as well. So the assists up, getting the ball moving faster is key. Playoff series, Randle, they're going to continue to bring the double with Randle and also with Brunson, because remember, someone's open, whether it's Grimes, whether it's IQ, RJ. The fact that we have these weapons now, I expect our offense to continue to stay top 10, ladies and gentlemen. I don't see our defense dropping below top 10 for the rest of the year, and I don't see our offense dropping below top 10 if everyone stays healthy, and we can obviously make some nice upgrades, I think, some more upgrades to our bench. Indiana tonight, Duarte didn't impress me. I was sort of open to the idea of, Chris Duarte, seeing what he could bring us off the bench. But tonight, Chris Duarte didn't really impress me. He hasn't been shooting well all season long from everyone, what everyone's telling me and what we've seen with Indy this season. It's been Benedict. Benedict had a great game. He showed out. He finished strong. But Chris Duarte struggled for them. Now, Mitchell Robinson tonight also had some key plays, playing big minutes, missing some free throws, but was he 4 of 6? In terms of rebounds, 9, 5 steals though. That's That's unbelievable from Mitch. 2 blocks, all defensive team conversation right there. Best believe that with money-making Mitch. His impact on the game, like 10 points, efficient around the rim again, a 3 or 4, playing heavy minutes, conditionings at peak for Mitch. So, yeah, he's impacting this team in so many ways, but he's the anchor of our defense. Rebounding and blocking those shots is just key for us, right? Even if we get blow-bys, like Brunson gets blown by occasionally, Randle will get blown by, but Mitch is there. Even Grimes gets blown by at times. Mitch is there. Mitch is there to save the day. Trini, salute. Salute. I heart got to go. We'll get to him in a second. Absolutely. And the look ahead, the road ahead with this, yeah. Yeah, like David says, you forgot to scout Duarte, yeah. Obviously, I don't just look at one game, but he's struggling all season long from what I've been hearing. And a guy taking his minutes has got to have his confidence down, based off a big guy like Benedict coming in. And also, quickly, we'll get to him. Went back to the bench tonight with RJ returning, but quickly was key. Quickly was key tonight too. So we've given all the starters their look for tonight. Again, the starters are a situation where all in the plus, played like in terms of scoring wise, distribution was quite even with the scoring. Every single starter gave you double digit points, which is nice. Nice. Not enough assists though for the team. I think we still need to get those assists up, moving the ball a bit more. We do score heavily in the isolation, but tonight the scoring distribution was nice with everyone in double digits with that. And that's what we're going to get now with Bully Barrett back. We basically just welcomed another 20-point scorer back into the Knicks starting 5, which is going to be key. We just got to be focusing in game, making these right adjustments, swinging the ball around, reading and reacting to these looks better. With that said, when these games get tight, we all know what happens, man. We go into a shell with that. And I'm looking at everyone, even Brunson. Sometimes he's being trapped. Sometimes he just tries to beat the trap, every single time. And he needs to move it on. Does JB real quick, make snappy decisions. That's what I like. Obviously, they do that to try to speed us up. Because like I said, we were running amok in the first half of tonight's game. We were killing them. We were calling all their shots. We were taking it to them. But when we do start to miss shots, they make it, a close game, scoring easy points off the break. That's when the New York Knicks, in my opinion, need to slow the tempo down a bit. A couple of ill-advised shots, long rebounds lead to back-breaking layups and threes on the other end. That's one of the key reasons I think we're losing a lot of these leads. Let's say you manage your performance in game, you build up a nice 20-point lead, 25-point lead. You got to adjust from there, right? Some coaches like to play the same way, but in my opinion, you adjust. You built up a nice lead, then you've got to start managing the game accordingly, right? Move the defense around, right? Get them in foul trouble, right? Punish them, right? Don't just let them off the hook with jacking up threes. That's one of the irritating things about the current NBA, right? Teams up, down, they just start jacking threes no matter what. When you're up 18, you're up 25, start punishing them down low, start going into the paint, right? Get foul calls, all of that stuff. Slow the game down a bit as well, because the team trying to make a comeback want to speed up the pace, right? They want to increase the pace of the game so they can start getting more shots, ladies and gentlemen. but you grind them. You basically grind them down. With that said, yet read and react don't work against the zone. I hope it's something that they practice a lot, fam, because we will see it more. But it's certainly been an Achilles for this team. I'm not going to lie. Like I said, I think with Grimes back, we've been able to handle it. Or teams have been going less zone on the Knicks, fam. But when we do see it, it's something we need to do better at right now. 100%. We need to do better at swinging the ball around and getting baseline as well. Get into the teeth of the zone, go baseline, and get in from behind. Euro in the house, salute. Not feeling RJ at this situation and his turnovers. Yeah, a lot of people will definitely be frustrated with RJ's turnovers tonight. I'm still sticking with RJ. I think we continue to overlook the fact that he's still very, very early in his career and he's making mistakes at certain times. I'm also looking at some of the areas he's growing in, and I've adjusted my expectations for RJ. With that said, he could score 20, 25. If he continues to improve his efficiency, he gets better defensively, he'd be very, very important for this team. With that said, 22 years old. I think the playmaking, for me, that's what I want to see RJ Barrett flesh out more, the playmaking side of things. We don't need him to score 20 every single night with Brunson and with RJ and with Randle here as well. JJ in the house. Let's go. Why in the world was Grimes benched for almost the entire fourth? Yet when he was playing well, yep, RJ getting cooked by Healed makes no sense. Yep, that was a bit puzzling why Grimes was, why he waited so long, to get Grimes in. I can only think, Tibbs saw something he liked in terms of matchups, fam. Maybe ability to punish them with size, get into the defense, get into the paint. With that said, Grimes was playing well as well, fam. I think we're going to see this situation a lot more with RJ back. We kind of have a little bit of embarrassment of riches at times, I think, offensively, with guys that can go off, guys that need the ball. And we're going to have to figure out how to share the ball more, how to share the load. I think because a huge fan base, part of the fan base wants Grimes to get more shots. 11 shots from Grimes tonight in 30 plus minutes. That ain't a lot. RJ got a lot of shots tonight. Brunson's going to get his shots. Mitch, 4 shots. You need to get Mitch some more looks. Yep, you need to get Mitch some more looks. Definitely find him for some rim runs, pick and roll. And Randle only had 4 points tonight. Better shot distribution, but the scoring load was distributed well tonight. Obviously, guys were pretty efficient, hit some shots. I want to look at the bench now because Obi, second game back, right? He couldn't crack double-digit minutes, which again is a folly for Tibbs, in my opinion. Let's not grind these guys down, right? Keep them fresh, keep them fresh for the last quarter. That's key. It's very, very key. And also it's a situation where later in the season, guys may have to sit, guys may have to miss, right? We need guys battle hard and ready. And I'm talking about the bench. With that said, Obi should have played 15 plus minutes. Sims should have played ahead of Hartenstein if Sims was good. Did you guys find out, has Tibbs said anything about Sims yet? McBride didn't play double digits either. So that's something I don't like. Right? You've only got Quickly, and he couldn't crack 30 minutes either. With that said, another night where our bench scoring is lacking, right? 11 points for Quick, and little to nothing else from anyone else, fam. Little to nothing else, fam. Um, was it Obi? Yep. Basically Obi with 5 points and Quickly with 11, right? Hartenstein with a donut, McBride with a donut as well. So again, we need bench help in terms of scoring wise. Quickly can't do it all. Um, Barrett obviously is going to play more with the bench. I think with that unit, Grimes playing more with the bench. We need to stagnate these lineups better, but not have too much of a lopsided distribution. You know, Barrett with 40 plus in his first game back, right? Toppin couldn't hit double. McBride couldn't hit double digit minutes, right? They've been playing decent, right? Give them that chance, give them the opportunity, Tibbs. And I think that's one of the reasons why we looked tired at the end. We crumbled late. Brunson carrying a huge load, Randle carrying that huge load. Barrett obviously was very fresh first game back, but I think conditioning wise, you know, you want to ease him in more. Buzzer says we need to develop our players, not look to get a star. We will be paying three guys, 25 mil max a year next season. Yep. And I'm happy with the starters, you know, with Grimes earning 30 plus minutes. I just think we need to decrease some of the other dudes. But like you said, we need to develop Obi, Sims, and play these guys more. McBride. JJ says it's a shame Grimes is our fourth option when he can do a lot of good things for us offensively. Yep. Yeah, no doubt. I would love to see even Grimes run some action off the second unit. Unfortunately, we do have dudes that ahead of him that are way more ball dominant, fam. I'm talking Quickly. You know, when he's running the action off the bench, the ball's in his hand, you know, most of the time, and with McBride, with Deuce. So, and in the starting unit, my worry is Grimes, is going to be very limited usage with Barrett, Brunson, and JJ and JR and JR, because you know he's the fourth option, like you said. He's going to be more catch and shoot situations. It's going to be fascinating too. I'm starting to think about what kind of contract, you know, when it comes up. Quentin Grimes is going to, the way things are going, Quentin Grimes is going to earn himself a real nice contract. One more year of cost control for Quentin Grimes, then he's going to be eligible for an extension for the 24-25 season. One more year, 23-24 season under cost control, but the 24-25 season, Grimes will be extension eligible. So it's going to be fascinating to see, fam. Drip more salute. Let's get it. Like I said about Obi, 1 of 3 from 3-point land. That's okay. The fact that he's getting 3 attempts from the 3 ball, much better shooter than Hartenstein is. Hits his free throws. With Obi, got a steal, 2 assists. You know, deserve more minutes than single digit minutes. Did Obi tonight. Hartenstein, take away all of his minutes at this point. Even if Sims is out, run some small ball. Right? Run some Randle, Obi small ball. So, awful game from Hartenstein, we already know, against the Bucks, where he failed to get the putback, 3 times. But he's just, I don't know what it is. He's lacking confidence now. He's softer than our other centers. Rebounding's not a strength. He's not shooting well. He's not being utilized as a playmaker passing. What use do we have for iHeart right now? Maybe he is going to be a trade target, but I kind of doubt it based on him getting minutes still, getting consistent minutes. Let's see. One thing's for sure. I think we've got his position covered between Jericho, between Obi, Randle, Mitch. as well. I would like to see us go small. Also, Deuce obviously can struggle with the shot at times. Tonight he had 2 attempts and he had 1 3 ball, missed all. Had a donut performance. Just didn't have it going. McBride tonight, but could have still used his defense. Still could have played him 10 minutes. Now, Quickly, right? Quickly's been a spark, but he was inefficient from 3 ball tonight, and he was also in the minus. 11 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists though, and a turnover. So under 30 minutes, 28 minutes for Quick, 26 minutes tonight for Quick. Are we going to start to see now Quickly go back to the 20, 25 minute mark with RJ back now? What are your guys' thoughts on that? Let me know in the comments chat right now, because I think I really like the way Quickly was playing next to Brunson. But clearly now, RJ, we welcome him back, and we get back to how we were looking before the Barrett injury. And it's going to take some games to build up that chemistry again between the big three. I guess one positive way to look at it is Quickly's play off the bench is going to be much needed. Before, when Quickly was a starter, yes, we looked dynamite with the starting unit coming out of the games, but with the bench situation now, we still need Quickly's production, and he's going to get all the shots he needs off the bench. The ESP he has with Toppin is key. Those guys need to play 15 plus minutes together, and hopefully, like I said, get Hartenstein minutes replaced by Sims and McBride. Fournier DNP tonight, right? I think that could be it for Fournier, based on the last game. Right? What are your thoughts on that? With Fournier's game against the Bucks, that critical brain fade, Tom Thibodeau may have just had enough of that. Right? We can't have those kind of lapses. With that said, right now we went back to that 9-man rotation, fam, and it's going to be tough for the rest of this season. I personally want a 10-man rotation, right? I think Cam Reddish would obviously fit in with these guys for what we need off the bench, but that boat sailed. I think Cam Reddish will be traded within the next 4 or 5 weeks, as we wait to see what the Knicks could get for him. But I think we're missing a great opportunity to play Cam minutes now, and get his stock up. That's right now, he could be showing some things, helping us out. That's Tibbs' stubbornness, right there. And I get the injury risk kind of thing, but at the same time, most other teams don't let that stop them. Don't let that stop you, because right, what are we going to get for him now? 2 second rounders, right? You could get 2 second rounders for a guy even if he's injured. It ain't that much of a difference right now. You could be playing Cam, he helps out a minute off the bench, gets steals, get some blocks, and you increase a bidding war with that situation. So yeah, I know most of us, you guys, also feel with the bench situation, right? 9-man rotation. I understand now with Fournier, you were playing him last game and it hurt you. With that said, I want to see this club make some changes, pretty soon, in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks maximum, because we're gassing a lot of these dudes out, right? And like we see, if Deuce ain't having it going, Hartenstein's trash, who else can we really rely on? Obi and Quick, then we're running the starters into the ground, ladies and gents. So yeah, that was the grades tonight, the box score. I'll obviously give him a grade. The others I'll give incomplete. But yeah, Quickly and Obi, I'll give them a C plus for tonight. And now let's pull up this look ahead, fam. Let's pull this up. The road ahead, because things have opened up now. 4 games over 500. We back here now in 6th seed. So 22 and 23 and 19. And now we hit the road with Washington and Detroit, right? You guys tell me, play along with this, because these games are the more winnable ones before a tough stretch to come. We have Washington, Detroit, Toronto back home, Washington back home as well. So for me, you've definitely got to aim for take all 4 of them. We're better than all those teams, right? Right? Now's the time to be ruthless, be a killer, right? Here, don't play down to an opponent, right? Realize that we have weapons. We're better than all of those teams, and let's play like it. Let's play like that, fam. Washington up and down play all season long. Got Bradley Beal out. So I think KP might be out. We've got Kyle Kuzma trade talk. So Washington's right for the taking right now. They're reeling, and we could snatch their heart out. So let's take that one. Go 5 games over. Detroit, we already know what that is. That's a situation where we could outplay them, get in rhythm, and move the ball that night, have some fun. Now the Toronto Raptors, right? There's talk that they're ready to blow things up. Gary Trent on the block. You let me know. What are your thoughts on Gary Trent? Would you give up a protected first, couple seconds, anyone on this roster to get Trent? But I think the Raptors are going to come in. They're definitely going to want some revenge at that point. But yeah, let's get to it. So minimum 3 or 4 out of the next 4 are for me. And then I divide this stretch into 2. Then the second part is much tougher. Obviously, we've got ATL, Toronto again in Canada. Then we've got Cleveland, and then 3 national games in a row, ladies and gentlemen. Boston, the Nets, and the Lakers. So we just got added that game today. The Boston game is now a TNT game. Brooklyn ABC. And then the Lakers, a national game as well. I think that one is on ESPN. I think that one. So we've got Boston, Brooklyn, and the Lakers to end that stretch, which are all national games. Fam. So for me, that's where it's gut check time for the season, really. And really, this easier stretch to begin is really going to tell us, changes on the horizon. Maybe we make a big move, a smaller move, as we get closer to the All-Star break and the trade deadline. The next 4 or 5 are games that the Knicks really should start favorites in. Will be favorites in all of those games, perhaps even against ATL and Toronto. And then the last 4, Cleveland, Boston, Brooklyn, and Lakers, right? Not worried about the Lakers, but the other 3, I would take splitting those. I would take a split in the Cleveland, Boston, Brooklyn, Lakers. If we can split those 4, we keep it moving, right? We should be already 5, 6, 7 games over 500, 8 games over 500, heading into that stretch with Washington, Detroit, the Raps, and the Wizards, and the ATL. So we take a game at a time. But yeah, I could seriously see this club at like 5, 6, 7, 8 games over 500 by the end of this stretch, and then that would have us see us through a tougher stretch. Things will open up again for this squad. Yeah, David says we end in a few games over 500 going into Feb. Yep, We're in a situation we haven't been in a minute yet, like you pointed out. Yet we're making records right now. Sherwin's not keen on giving up a first for Gary. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I don't think we need to make that kind of move yet. Let's keep these firsts. Buzzer would like to see Gary up in here. Cam and a protected. Obviously, we have a few different protecteds. We got the Washington one. We got the Milwaukee one in the future as well. I think we got a Detroit one as well. If we're going to get a couple seconds for Cam, maybe Cam and a couple seconds for Gary Trent. But I do feel like there will be a club in the NBA that will give up a first for Trent. Someone will give up a first. It's going to be an arms race. Is this a playoff push? This playoff deadline, fam? But right now, you hit, like David said, where we're sitting pretty in the East right now. Who would have had us in sixth? Past the halfway point now. We're 42 games down, 40 to go. Let's go. Yet with this situation, look at all these teams. They're all Eastern Conference teams, except the Lakers, the last one. That's a huge stretch of all Eastern Conference teams. So less travel. We got our couple road trips out of the way early. Which is key. That is key. So, I mean, to be honest, by the end of then, if we're 6, 7, 8 games above 500, we're definitely on track for a 46 to 50 win season. With that, because I do feel like even more so, we're going to finish hot this year. And I think people are underestimating that teams will start to rest guys. They'll start to sit guys. They'll play the tank. Sellers up in this piece, right? I'm talking about the Wizards, the Bulls, the Raptors. We got the Magic. We got Detroit already. We got Charlotte. Who knows what happens with ATL with the dysfunction they've got right now? So, as well as not just play, but the Knicks could be peaking at the right time this season. Got some chemistry. Dude's got dysfunction in the Eastern Conference. Miami's coming up though, so maybe I did honestly count Miami out early, at my own peril. But let's see if Jimmy Butler can keep up this kind of play. A lot of mileage on him. And also, by the way, it was an absolute joke that last night Jimmy Butler had 20 free throws by the end of the third quarter. Let that sink in, ladies and gentlemen, right? The Miami Heat broke an NBA history record, 100% from the free throw line, 40 of 40 from the line. And you look at these New York Knicks, they have to get tackled, they have to get strangled just to get a foul call. Right? It's ridiculous up in here. Again, I called out the refs tonight because Quentin Grimes was fouled twice. He was held back, and then he was also, hit in the face with that. Sherwin says we got to get a 6'8" wing, not a 6'5" wing. With that, we're doing okay right now, Sherwin. But I think with these tougher matchups, like against Tatum, against KD, I could definitely see your point with some of the size, the Cleveland Cavaliers size as well. But those guys don't grow on trees too, fam. One positive thing with the draft coming up too is with more pieces we have in place, we're going to know more in this draft class in terms of which guys we really need to fit, I think, in this team. If we're moving ahead with Brunson, RJ, and Randle, and Mitch, and Grimes, we got some limited roster spots. We need to be maybe drafting on fit. this year, ladies and gents, because we're in a better position. We know where things are going right now. Let's see, 4 games over 500 now, 23-19 right now. Not playing our best ball either. Ways to grow, ways to move, and get things going with this situation. Um, I mentioned the Heat on the come up, and I also feel like it remains to be seen what actually happens with ATL. I do think Indiana are a situation I've been saying for a while now. Indiana are going to be a team that eventually tears it down, in my opinion. I think a smart organization should realize they're ahead of schedule. Tyrese and Mathurin have outplayed their expectations, and they're probably going to trade or sell Miles Turner and maybe Buddy Hield, maybe Duarte, and I think they should eventually tear it down because although they're in seventh seed, I think Indiana can be in a situation. There's enough time for Indy to tear it down and to get into the lottery. Get into the top 10. If you can get in the seventh best odds range, your chances of getting into the top 4 are great. With that situation, you can get into that top 4 if you're in the seventh worst seed, seventh worst record. So I think smart organization. If I'm Indy, I know I'm not winning nothing right now, right? You got young guys, you're ahead of schedule. I think Indiana should tear it down. I think that'll open up a spot for the Heat. We know Heat aren't going to tear it down. The Heat are going to go for every single win. And I think ATL, there's enough room for ATL to fit in. And maybe Chicago with Zach LaVine's play, maybe they hang around. I do feel like Toronto tears it down as well. I think Chicago, most likely Toronto and Indiana and the Wiz are likely to tear it down. Reese in the house, let's go. How you doing, fam? Buzzer asks, we need a stretch 5. Is there a stretch 5 in this draft? No one in the top 15 lottery type projections at the moment, fam. They're all guards and wings. Outside of obviously Wemby, Wemby can't quite be classified as a 5 yet. But in the first round, there might be. I haven't dived in yet. I haven't dived in deeper enough to the class, but we will soon. We're going to hit February real soon. We'll preview March Madness and the Knicks prospects to watch in the tourney, fam, for March Madness. But also keep an eye out, listen out for the Miles Turner buzz. There's a lot of connections with this organization, with Miles Turner. And I personally see the writings on the wall with Turner and Indy. I would struggle to see that as a partnership moving forward. I think eventually they're going to move Miles on. I think. With that said, obviously we have Mitch up in here, so I'm not here to say that the Knicks are going to be the team, but I do feel like there is a lot of connections. The same way there was connections with the Jalen Brunson thing, there's connections with Miles. He's from Dallas and has connections with Julius, and I think he's CAA repped as well as Miles. So the New York Knicks were interested in him last year before Mitch re-signed. So maybe things have changed, but just keep an eye on it. Keep one eye on the Miles Turner situation. Gary Trent, Sherwin. You like Mitch better than Miles? Yeah, different players, as well. I think it comes down to what Leon wants for this team, what he values. But yeah, Mitch is holding us down 100%. 100%. Buzzer would rather have Cat up in here. Yep. I was a fan of Cat a few years back. I've kind of changed my stance on Cat at this point. Um, but let's see what happens in Mini. Let's see what happens. I understand the value of that guy, that stretch five that can stroke it. That'll give us a different look. Reese asked about Wiseman as a backup. I haven't watched enough of Wiseman, but I would be surprised if the Warriors moved on from him. I think he's so young still. They've got to be careful with moving on from that player that's so young. Um, but in terms as a backup, fam, like I'm good with Sims. I'm good with Sims as a backup at the moment. Let's continue to give him priority. Let's give him minutes as the sole backup while we can, while we have that ability, that luxury right now. Uh, I would be putting Hartenstein on the block. You know, I mean, he's only got one more year after this, $8 million, then it expires. So if he's not even producing, and we could get maybe even it's a second round pick, that's a bonus. That's a bonus you could get for a player that really, to me, has no need anymore because of what Jericho can do. I need a center. If they can't shoot, they can't space it, I need them to give me vertical spacing, above the rim action, right? That's the opposite of Hartenstein, right? We saw him last night, couldn't even put the ball in the bucket from 2 feet, right there. Jericho or Mitch would have grabbed it and jumped and slammed it. So yeah, Hartenstein got some passing ability, we know, ability to shoot a little, which turned out to not be, very, very, insignificant. So get me a guy like Sims more minutes. Yeah, I got you. Yep. Different stretch fives. Yeah, he could be cheap. He could be affordable. Yeah, let's see what they do, fam, because we're going to see a move, whether it's with Cam, Rose, Fournier, Obi, IQ. Still, no one really knows for sure. And I'll also, before we wrap, this show up, I will say this: don't get lured into these reports and things that are going to be coming up thick and fast in the next 4 weeks, because what happens is we always see a trade go down, right? That surprises people, right? 90% of trades don't get reported on, ladies and gentlemen, and 90% of trades that get reported on never happen. So something's going to happen that will surprise us all, and the timing might be there. That might be the surprise. Maybe the pieces, the level of the move, all of that stuff right now. But now is go time when these organizations are talking right now, right? Trades take weeks of internal discussions and back and forths and all of that, before eventually something might come to fruition. It could even be a team that we've been dialoguing with for over a year, 12 months, The talk is with Dallas. When KP got traded, the Knicks and Dallas were talking for over 12 months, right? So there was some familiarity there. There was framework upon which the trades were already agreed upon. So look for connections, though. The New York Knicks can be unpredictable, but some things can be very predictable. The CAA connections, Miles Turner, like I said, connections with guys like Julius. Chris Duarte is from New York. There's situations there. Look for these teams that are going to blow things up as well. But yeah, things are going well. Things are buzzing right now. Smash that like button, because the New York Knicks picked up a tough win on their home. A Grimes dagger 3. RJ Barrett back now. Obi's back. We've got 2 All-Stars. Let's vote them in. 4 games over, 6 seed right now. 40 games left, right? We hit the final straight for the season right now. We're past the halfway point. and this is go time. We've got the trade buzz about to be popping right now, and the New York Knicks are for once not coming from a desperation point of view where everyone in the league knew we had to be a buyer. This year is a bit different, you know. We could be sort of buyer or seller, you know. So we're coming from position of leverage with a lot of teams, you know. In fact, a lot of teams want our pieces now, ladies and gents. Let that sink in, you know. Emmanuel quickly reports today from Hoops Hype that 4 plus 5, 6, 7, 8 teams are interested in IQ right now. So yeah, we're coming from a position of leverage right here because we're playing young players. Finally, you know, finally we're in a position where we're able to grow the stock of some of these young players that we have. And just imagine if we'd been playing Sims and Obi 25 minutes for the last 2 years. You know, if we had been playing IQ more over Alec Burks, you know, last season, all of that. And that's why the time is now for iHeart to get out and get Sims more action. And then we could see, you know, we could see what he's made of, you know, because you just never know. You know, you never know. And I appreciate you all. Have a great night. Let's get it on Friday night Knicks when we take on the Wiz. That's going to be another fun game. I'm looking for us to bully them and take that matchup straight to them. And we need to pick up these dubs, you know, why the schedule's friendly to us, fam. But yeah, Tom Thibodeau, relax on these minutes, you know, relax on it, you know. The meme needs to be Tom Thibodeau, relax now, because, you know, we don't want Brunson to go down, touch wood. We don't want Randle to go down with that. We don't need to be overexerting these guys just to win regular season games, you know. Now's the time to blood more of these young players off the bench and give them opportunities, you know. Make sure that they're ready for when the action comes to the playoffs and, you know, and that. But yeah, let's see, fam. Let's see. We've got to win these next 4. Let's get on this another streak right now, and the streets will be buzzing. Smash that like button. We back here, and I'll see you on the next one, fam. Peace.